Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Miller Bargeron, and I was just sitting here in my office as I have just arrived back from a banquet. And, many times we'll go to different events and we will be impressed with certain things that leaves us a mark on our minds, our memory, and just certain things just resonate in our minds. And I was just sitting there as I heard one of the award recipients talk about how he pretty much started with nothing, moved to an area, didn't know how he was going to make payroll one month. And next thing you know, he has nine plus businesses, over 60 employees. And you think a lot of times about these individuals and you don't see their backstory. I've been that individual who would look and say, you know what, I see where this person is now, but I've never known their backstory. But just to hear how someone basically starts from little or nothing, just grows a business empire, grows any type of organizational empire, it is just always an intriguing thing for me. As many of you may know, it's leadership. And that's the area that I love talking about. I love talking about leadership. And when you look at an individual that is able to lead himself or herself through challenging times and to build something that's really great, something that's not just for themselves, but something that's for everyone else. But a lot of times, those such individuals, they don't have people who come alongside of them and who's their coach or who's their mentor. They actually go at it alone. They have the fortitude and the resilience to say, you know what, I'm going to make it. I'm going to fight through it. I'm not going to let anything stop me. And that's actually a lot of my motto. I'm not saying I don't have coaches. I have coaches. I have mentors. I have people who have helped me in pretty much every step of my journey. But one thing that it was just impressed upon me was that there is something that I like to call on the journey training. And a lot of times we don't want to have that on the journey training. We've all heard of on the job training. Yes, we have that on the job training where you start a job and you know you're getting paid and you can make money and you go and you do great. But we don't think about on the journey training. And I'm not just talking about the journey of a business or a journey of a job. I'm talking about the journey of life. We grow in so many different facets, whether we go into business, whether we work for an employer, whether we are this or whether we are that. And a lot of times we don't give enough credence to the journey that we partake on, or we don't give enough credence to the actual process that we undergo as we are on our journey. And that's what I want to talk about. I really want to start talking about the process of training while you're on the journey, that on the journey training that so many of us discount because there's so many individuals who have made it from little or nothing without the backing of a mom or a dad or a rich friend or someone who can actually sponsor them. They figured it out. They figured it out just as they went along on their journey. And there's so much to be said for that because in that and of itself speaks to leadership. I've talked previously about leadership and leadership being two parts. First being self-governing. And those individuals who have gotten out there without having a mentor in a particular field, they major in the area of self-governance. They had discipline, they had resilience, they had the stick-to-itiveness to say that they were going to keep pushing forward and that they were going to make it no matter what came at them. And that is the point I am in my life. Like I said, I'm not going to say that I have not had mentors or coaches, but so much of what I do because my area is more specialized than some of the more mainstream fads for executive coaching and for training and things of that nature. I've had to pick up a lot as I have gone along on the path. So I'm not just putting this out there as something that is on the journey training for someone else, but I am constantly on the job as far as on the job, on the journey training. I'm constantly going through on the journey with myself. The things that I learned, the things that I researched, the things that I gain wisdom on just from accumulating knowledge and understanding how to put it in place. That is essentially wisdom. So I've been gaining wisdom as I have gone along on my journey, and I've tried many things from being an award-winning filmmaker to a 30-year federal government career that was stellar, to now stepping out over the last 4+ years, just being in business with my wife as we have built a leadership company in training and coaching and mentoring. And I wanted to start sharing some things along the way. I wanted to start sharing some of my on the job training. And as we continue doing these talks, I will come back and I will share with you some of the insights, some of the things that I've gained, some of the things that I've learned. And I will tell you one of the biggest things that I can even say right now is the the fact that so many leaders, so many individuals who are aspiring into leadership, leading themselves first of all, but also leading other individuals, they discount the power of communication. It is a big area that we have to tap into. It's a big area that deals with understanding human behavior and understanding personalities, because there are so many times where we, from our personal lives to our business lives and everything in between, we do not focus a lot on communicating. We do not focus a lot on understanding human behavior and just understanding personalities. We just take it as a conflict or a clash, and we don't think that there is a such thing as productive conflict to where we can work things out. But a lot of that stems from communication. And throughout this initial part of this series that I want to start talking about, as far as on the journey training, I want to talk about communications and having better communications with individuals. Communications can turn everything around, from your personal relationships, whether it's your significant others, or it can do the same thing with your business relationship. Relationships with people are built on communications, and it doesn't matter whether it's your business partner or whether it is your spouse. It is all the same thing, your significant other. The more we understand how to better communicate with each other, the better our lives will be. I think the less we will see marriages that end in 2 to 3 to 5 years as well. A lot of that is communication issues. A lot of times we have two stellar people that go into business together, but because they don't see eye to eye, they end up crashing. They end up falling. They end up not being able to be as impactful as they really can be. So I want to share some of these on the I want to share some of the on the journey trainings that I go through, the different things that I learn, even as I train individuals, as I work with organizations, whether they're corporate organizations, nonprofit organizations, schools. It doesn't matter. Leadership is present in everything that we do. And in fact, leadership really just has to become a lifestyle. And when we start looking at leadership as a lifestyle, first leading ourselves, whether we end up leading other individuals or not, leadership should be a lifestyle to where we lead ourselves into a path of being a disciplined individual so that we can be the best that we can be at all times, whether we're just a team member or whether we're the team lead or the corporate leader, the CEO. It doesn't matter. It all begins with leadership. And this, one of the strongest areas of being a leader is being able to effectively communicate, communicating the vision, communicating the plan, communicating where you want to go. So I want to talk to you about these different things, and not just that. I'm going to give you some random things along the way that you may not think fits into the leadership model, but everything stems from leadership. From leadership, everything, as John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls on leadership. Whether that's leadership in your family, whether that's leadership in ministry, whether that's leadership in business, leadership in a nonprofit organization, leadership on an athletic team. Anywhere that there are two or more individuals, someone has to take a leadership role and lead. And that is something that is missing, but something that we have to look at. And the biggest missing part of that is how we communicate with each other. So I thank you for your time. I thank you for allowing me to just express myself during this moment. And I will be coming back and forth, just sharing these different things as we go on this journey training, this on the journey training. I think it's something that we all can benefit from. I think it's something that I know it's something that I'm benefiting from, because I'm always learning, always learning, always learning. So let's take this on the journey training together, and let's realize our greatest potential. Because as we train, as we develop, as we move forward, as we put things into action, we become the best individual that we can be. So I've enjoyed speaking with you, and I look forward to speaking with you very soon. Have a great evening.